Hello grade 9 students. Today I am here to teach you chapter 3 in your textbook, that's fractions. What are fractions? Without knowing, we are using fractions every day. Take a pizza. You know, when you buy a pizza, how many parts are there? Equally divided into 8 parts. So you get a pizza like this. So if you take one part out of this, we can write this as 1 over 8. One part out of 8 parts. So this is a fraction. Again, now think about your friend has 3 toffees and you want to divide that equally in between you and your friend. So what you do? 3 into 2 parts. So what do? You can take one toffee and your friend can take the other toffee. What about the other extra toffee? We need to divide into 2 parts equally so that you get half of the toffee and your friend gets half of the toffee. So you get 1 and a half. One toffee plus another half of a toffee. So there also you get fractions. So it's really important to study about fractions. Now we'll take this one. A big square is there, equally divided into 4 equal parts. And 3 parts are shaded. Considering the square to be a whole region, it is divided into 4 equal parts and 3 parts of it is shaded. If I ask you, what's the fraction of shaded part? 4 equal parts are there. Out of 4, 3 parts are shaded. 3/4. 3 out of 4. So this is a fraction. Unshaded part. Unshaded part, just one part out of 4 equal parts. So we can write 1 over 4 or 1/4. We'll revise fractions with another figure. This is a hexagon and it says regular. Regular means all sides are equal. This is divided into 6 equal parts. Altogether 6 parts are there. 3 parts of which are shaded. Fraction of shaded area. Out of 6 parts, 3 parts are shaded. So you can write 3 over 6. When considering equivalent fractions, how can you simplify this one? You can divide by 3 the numerator and the denominator. So you get 3 times 1 and 3 times 2. So I can write instead of 3, 6. That's half. Fraction of unshaded area. So half shaded means other half unshaded. So you can write 1 over 2 or 3 over 6. When an object is divided into equal parts and one or more parts of it can be considered as a fraction. We'll take another example. The hall has 128 chairs. So when you take chairs as a whole, altogether 128 parts are there. 71 of them in which the students are seated. The fraction of the area in which students are seated, that means out of 128 chairs, 71 chairs are occupied. So 71 out of 128. So what's the fraction of empty chairs? The rest of the chairs. So we can find by subtracting 128 minus 71, you get 57. So that means 57 out of 128. When the total number of chairs together considered as one unit, part of chairs considered as a fraction. Now you need to know what are proper fractions and improper fractions. So sometimes in books you will see top-heavy fractions also, but mainly we use improper and proper fractions. What are those? Look at the values. Now when you take a fraction, what's the number above the line? Numerator. What's the number below the line? That's called denominator. Now observe the numerator and the denominator. Always the numerator is less than the denominator. So in these fractions, the number in the numerator is less than the number in the denominator. So we call these are proper fractions. What about this one? Other way around. The numerator is bigger than the denominator. 7 is bigger than 3. 8 is bigger than 3. These are called improper fractions. In these fractions, the number in the numerator is bigger than the number in the denominator. These are called improper fractions. So what are the two terms? Proper fractions and improper fractions. And you need to know what are mixed numbers. We don't say mixed fractions. Mixed number is a combination of a number with a proper fraction. Now we'll take this example. 2 squares are there. One whole square is shaded and this one part out of 4 parts shaded. What's the shaded area? So if you take this one as whole 1 and this is one part, you can say 1 and 1/4. Or you can write down one part as 4/4. Addition 1/4, you get 5 parts out of 4. Or when you take each part as one unit, how many parts are there? 8 parts are there, then 5 parts shaded. But in this question, you have to take the whole square as one part. So 1 and 1/4. So you can write like this, 5/4. Then we know without simplifying, this is 1 plus 1/4. That's equal to 5/4. So here we can combine a number and a fraction. So we can say 1 and 1/4 is equal to 5/4. Mixed number you can write as an improper fractions. And if you get an improper fraction, you should be able to convert to a mixed number. All improper fractions can be converted to mixed numbers. So now we'll see how we can do that. Convert the mixed numbers given below into improper fractions in a single step. Now we'll take the previous example, 1 and 1/4. We found that's equal to 5/4. Now what we do? How you convert? You multiply these two numbers, 4 times 1 and add. This is multiplication and these two addition. So 4 times 1 plus 1. You get 5/4. Now we'll use the same procedure. How you convert to an improper fraction? multiply. 2 times 1, 2. 2 plus 1, 3. 3 over 2. 2 times 4, 8. 8 plus 1, 9 over 4. 6 times 5, 30. 30 plus 5, 35 over 6. 7 times 5, 35. 35 plus 3, 38 over 5. 3 times 8, 24. 24 plus 1, 25. 6 into 4, 24. 24 plus 3, 27. So now you know how to convert mixed numbers to improper fractions. Now the other way around. How you convert to improper fractions to mixed numbers? We can divide. We can use long division. 9 divided by 5 means 5 times 1, 5. Remainder is 4. So how can you write down this? This is total number of parts 1. 4 parts remaining out of 5. This one 11 divided by 7. 7 times 1, 7 and 4 remaining. 1 part is there, 4 out of 7. 22 divided by 7. That means long division. 7 times 3, 21. 1 remaining. 3 full parts are there, 1 out of 7. 8 divided by 5. You can do without doing the calculation. 5 times 1, 5. 3 remaining. 3 fifths. 17 over 9. So, how many 9s for 17? That's 1. 9 times 1, 9. 8 remaining. This one 19 over 11. How many 11s are there? For 19, 1. And the remaining part is 8 out of 11. So you can check 11 times 1 is 11. 11 plus 8, you get 19. Equivalent fractions. What are equivalent fractions? You can multiply or divide any fraction, both the numerator and the denominator, by a number, and you can get equivalent fractions. Now take this one, 3 sevenths. When you multiply the numerator by 2, you get 6. You have to do the same thing, multiply by 2. So 6 over 14 is equivalent to 3 over 7. Now take the other one. How you get this to here? Multiplied by 3. 3 times 3, 9. 7 times 3, 21. So 9 over 21. What about the other one? How you get 12 from 3? Multiplied by 4. So 4 times 3, 12. 4 times 7, 28. So these are called equivalent fractions. Now we'll do write each fractions. Write equivalent fractions for the following. So we can multiply by any number, but it's easy to take small numbers. We'll take 2 multiplied by 2. 5 times 2, 10. 11 times 2, 22. Multiply by 3. 3 times 5, 15. 3 times 11, 33. Multiply by 4. 4 times 5, 20. 4 times 11, 44. So these are equivalent fractions. Take this one, 7 over 10. You can multiply by 2. 14 over 20. Multiply by 3, both the numerator and the denominator. 7 times 3, 21. 10 times 3, 30. Multiply by 4. 4 times 7, 28. 4 times 10, 40. 6 out of 17. Take this one, 6 out of 17. Multiply by 2, 12. 12 times 17, 34. Multiply by 3. 3 times 6, 18. 37 times 3, 21. And 5, 51. Multiply by 4. 4 times 6, 24. 4 times 7, 28. 2 remaining. 4 times 1, 4. Plus 2, 6. So 24 out of 68. Another one, 8 over 15. Multiply by 2, you get 16 over 30. Multiply by 3, 24 over 45. Multiply by 4, 8 times 4, 32. 15 times 4, 60. Now, take this one, you are getting a bigger one. Now, when you multiply, you get bigger number. So, now you can do division. So, when you divide this by 2, you get 6. 36 divided by 2, you get 18. Again, you can divide by 2. You get here to here also. But when you divide this by 3, you get 12 divided by 3, 4. 36 divided by 3, 12. And then divide by 4 also from here. 12 divided by 4, you get 3. 36 divided by 4, you get 9. So, equivalent fractions can be obtained by dividing the numerator and the denominator by 2, 3, 4 like that in fraction 12 over 36 given above. Now, try these two and get these equivalent fractions. 60 to 30 divided by 2. 40 divided by 2, you can write 20. 30 divided by 2 or here, from here also you can go to this one. 60 divided by 4, you get 15. 40 divided by 4, you get 10. Or from here, just divided by 2. Here to there, divided by 10. 40 divided by 10, you get 4. Look at this one. 60 to 30 divided by 2. So 36 divided by 2, you get 18. 60 to 20, that means divided by 3. 36 divided by 3, you get 12. 60 to 15 divided by 4. 36 divided by 4, you get 9. So to get equivalent fractions, you can either multiply or divide. Addition and subtraction of fractions. So you have already done this in grades 6, 7, 8. Look at the first one. Denominator is the same. So when you get the same denominator, what you do? Just add the numerator values. So 7 is the common denominator. 3 plus 1, 4. 4 plus 2, 6. As the denominator is the same, add numerator values. Now look at the other one. Now the denominators are different. 3, 4, 6. So you need to convert to the common denominator. What you call that? Lowest common multiple. So what's the easiest way to get the lowest common multiple of 3, 4, 6? Take the largest number from the given numbers. 3, 4, 6. 6 is the largest number. And see now whether this is divisible by the other two numbers. 6 divisible by 3, you get 2. Is 6 divisible by 4? No. Then you can't take that one and take the multiples of that. Then the next multiple is 12. 6 times 2. Now see whether 12 is divisible by 3 and 4. Yes. 12 divided by 3 you get 4. 12 divided by 4 you get 3. So 12 is divisible by 4 and 3. So that means that's the lowest common multiple. So we can convert to 12. 3 times 4, 12. So 2 times 4, 8. 4 times 3, 12. That means 3 times 1, 3. How you get 12 from 6? Multiply by 2. 2 times 1, you get 2. So 8 plus 3, 11. 11 plus 2, 13. Now, what is this fraction? Improper fraction. When you get improper fractions, convert to mixed number. So divide by 12, you get 1 and 1 part remaining out of 12. So 1 and 1 twelfths. Now this one, 8, 6, 24. So lowest common multiple is 24. So how you get that? 8, 6, 24. The largest number is 24. And see whether this is divisible by 8 and 6. 24 divided by 8, yes, you get 3. 24 divided by 6, you get 4. So both numbers are divisible. So that's why 24 is the lowest common multiple. Now convert, find the equivalent fractions. Multiply by 3, you get 12. Here multiply by 4. 4 times 3, 12. This one already 24 is there, so you don't need to multiply. Now you can add these two and subtract 1. 12 plus 12, 24. 24 minus 1, you get 23. The next one, 15, 6 and 10. What's the lowest common multiple? Take the largest one as multiple and then check whether it's divisible. It's not divided by 6 or 10. That means you can't take the next multiple. 30. 30 is divisible by 15. It's divisible by 6 as well as 10. So 30 is the lowest common multiple. Now find the equivalent fractions. 15 times 2, so 8 times 2, 16. 6 to 30, multiply by 5. 5 times 3, 15. 10 to 30 means multiply by 3. 3 times 1, 3. Now simplify. 16 plus 15, what's the value? 31. 31 minus 3, 28. Now we can simplify and write down equivalent fractions. Divide by 2, you get 15. 28 divided by 2, you get 14. So convert to a common denominator and then add or subtract the numerators when you get addition or subtraction. Simplify fractions given below. 10 is the lowest common multiple already there. So straight away you can write 10 here. Then 7 plus 3 minus 6. 7 plus 3, 10. 10 minus 6, you get 4. You can simplify this. Divide by 2. You get 2 over 5. Next one, same thing. Same denominator. You can take 15 as the common denominator. This is just adding and subtracting the numerator. 7 plus 3, 10. 10 minus 1, 9. Can you simplify? Yes, you can divide by 3. 9 divided by 3, 3. 15 divided by 3, 5. Next one, 3, 6, 12. What's the lowest common multiple? Biggest number is 12 and see this is divisible by 3 and 6. Yes, that means 12 is the lowest common multiple. 4 times 3, 12. So 4 times 2, 8. 6 to 12 multiplied by 2. 2 times 5, 10. And here 18 minus 11. You get 7 out of 12. So you can't simplify, just keep as it is. This one, 936. What's the lowest common multiple? Take the bigger one and see whether it's divisible. This is not divisible by 6, so you can't take that. Multiple of that, 18 is the next number. 18, it's divisible by 936. So that's the lowest common multiple. Now convert, find the equivalent fractions. 9 times 2, so 7 times 2, 14. Multiply by 6, it's 12. Multiply by 3, that's 15. Now add these two. You get 26 minus 15. 11. 11 out of 18. Here also you can't simplify further. Fraction multiplication. So what's the rule when you get multiplication? You multiply the numerator separately and denominator separately. So we'll do 3 times 3, 7 times 2. 3 times 3, 9, 7 times 2, 40. You can't simplify that. Next one, multiply the numerator values separately, denominator values separately. 5 times 2, 10, 9 times 3, 27. Now what happens here? Multiply the numerator and the denominator separately. Now, not like these examples, here you can see common factor is in both numerator and the denominator. So you can simplify that. I can write 2 times 1, 2 times 2 there. Now multiply separately. Numerator 1 times 3, 3, 5 times 2, you get 10. If possible, simplify numerator with denominator and then multiply the numerator separately and denominator separately. So it's good to check whether there are common factors in both numerator and the denominator. Now you get mixed numbers. How you multiply mixed numbers? Convert to improper fractions. Convert to improper. 3 times 1, 3. 3 plus 1, 4. Here also convert to improper fractions. 4 times 2, 8. 8 plus 1, 9. Now you can multiply numerator separately and the denominator separately. 4 is common. You can simplify first. 1 times 9 is 9. 3 times 1 is 3. Here again you can simplify. 3 times 1, 3 times 3. So the final answer is 3. This one, mixed numbers. Do the same thing. Convert to improper fractions. 5 times 3, 15 plus 1, 16 over 5. 4 times 1, 4 plus 3, 7 over 4. Multiply numerator separately, denominator separately. You can simplify. 4 times 1, 4 times 4. Now, 4 times 7 is 28 over 5. This is an improper fraction. Convert to mixed number. 5 times 5, 25. 3 remaining out of 5. So all these are mixed numbers. Convert to improper fractions. 2 times 7, 14 plus 1, 15. 5 times 1, 5. 5 plus 3, 8. Multiply numerator separately and the denominator. I can see 5 times 1, 5. 5 times 3. 2 times 1 and 2 times 4. Now multiply numerator separately. 3 times 4, 12. And 1 times 1, you get 1. This one, 4 times 3, 12. 12 plus 3, 15. 15 times 1, 15 plus 1, 16. Now multiply the numerator separately and the denominator separately. 15, 15 get cancelled out. 4 times 1 and 4 times 4. So 1 times, this is 1. So 1 times 4 is 4. 1 times 1 in the denominator is 1. So you don't need to write down. This one, convert to improper fractions. 4 times 3, 12. 12 plus 3, 15. 5 times 1, 5. 5 plus 1, 6. Now multiply the numerator separately, denominator separately. Simplify. 1 and here 3. 2 times 2, 2 times 3. Now multiply the numerator separately. 3 times 3, 9. Denominator is 2 times 1, 2. This is an improper fraction. Convert to mixed number. 2 times 4, 1 remaining. So 4 and a half. This one, convert to improper fractions. 4 times 6, 24 plus 1, 25. This one, 5 times 1, 5. 5 plus 3, 8. Multiply the numerator separately and the denominator separately. Now check whether you can simplify. 5 times 1, 5 times 5. 4 times 1, 4 times 2. You get 5 times 2 is 10. Now we'll look at fraction division. So before that, look at these ones. 2 over 3. This is 3 over 2. What happens there? Numerator goes to the denominator and denominator goes to the numerator. Numerator goes to the denominator and denominator goes to the numerator. What do you call that? That's called reciprocal. Reciprocal of a fraction. So when you take a person like this, what it means, reciprocal means other way around. So you can take this way. So upside down. 3 sevens are there. What's reciprocal of that? 7 over 5. 11 over 9. When you convert to its reciprocal, this becomes 9 over 11. 8 means this is like 8 over 1. So what is the reciprocal of 8? 1 over 8. 1/3. Upside down, 3 over 1. Or you can write 3. When you get letters like this, A over B becomes B over A. X over Y becomes Y over X. So to do fraction division, you need to know about reciprocal of a fraction. Now let's take, we need to divide these two fractions, 3 over 7 and 6 over 5. So before that, we'll take a small example. Take 10 divided by 2. 10 divided by 2 is 5. So you get 5 parts. 10 divided by half. How many half parts are there? So if you take 10, when you are dividing by half, how many total parts are there now? You get 20 parts are there. So how you get 20? 10 divided by half. When you take the reciprocal, you get 2 over 1. So you get 20 there. So 10 times 2, 20. So actually what we are doing, dividing fractions means multiplying by the reciprocal of that fraction. So here if this is 3/7, what you do? That's 3/7, but this is converting to the reciprocal. 6/5 becomes 5/6. Now this is fraction multiplication. You know how to do that. Multiply the numerator separately, denominator separately and simplify. So 3 times 5, 7 times 6. Check whether you can simplify. Yes, 3 times 2. So 5 times 1, 5, 7 times 2, 14. This one, what we do? 8/15. First fraction as it is. The second fraction, we are changing to its reciprocal. So 7/4. Multiply the numerator separately and the denominator separately. Simplify first. 4 times 1, 4 times 2. Then 2 times 7, 14 out of 15. Now what happens? You get mixed numbers. So first convert to improper fractions and then do the multiplication of reciprocal. So convert to top heavy fraction or improper fraction. 7 times 1, 7. 7 plus 1, 8/7. And here 4/3. Now the next step you can change it to multiplication. When you are doing that, make sure you take the reciprocal. Now multiply the numerator separately, denominator separately. Can we simplify? 4 times 1 and 4 times 2. So 6/7. Convert to improper fractions. 15 plus 1, 16. This one 4/3. Now convert to multiplication by taking the reciprocal of that. So multiply the numerator separately, denominator separately. Simplify if possible. 4 times 1, 4 times 4. 4 times 3, 12 and 5. When you convert it to mixed number, what you get? You get 5 times 2, 10, 2 remaining. So 2 and 2/5. Convert to improper fractions when mixed numbers are given. Do this example. 25/4, 10/3. Now convert to multiplication by taking the reciprocal 3/10. Upside down, numerator goes to the denominator, denominator goes to the numerator. Now multiply separately. Numerator separately and denominator separately. Simplify. 5 times 2, 5 times 5. That's all. 5 times 3, 15. 4 times 2, 8. Now convert to a mixed number. 8 times 1, 8. 7 remaining. So 1 and 7/8. Look at this one. Convert to improper fractions. 24 plus 1, 25. This is 5/4. Division, now convert to multiplication of its reciprocal. So upside down, numerator multiply separately, denominator multiply separately. You can see 5 goes with 25, that's 5. So 5 times 4, 20/3. Write as a mixed number. 3 times 6, 18 and 2 remaining. 6 and 2/3. Take this one, convert to improper fractions. 16 plus 3, 19. 16 plus 3, again 19. Now convert to its reciprocal. You have to write here multiplication. 8 over 19. Now multiply the numerator separately and the denominator separately. 19 get cancelled out. 4 times 1 and 4 times 2. So 2 times 1, 2. 1 times 1, 1. So you get 2. This one, 33 plus 1, 34. 15 plus 2, 17. This division, convert to multiplication. Take its reciprocal. Multiply the numerator separately, denominator separately, and check whether you can simplify. 17 times 2, 34. 3 and 3 get cancelled out, so you get only 2. Another question? Same thing. Similar way we do. Convert to improper fractions. 21 over 4. 7 over 3. Now, 21 over 4 multiplied by its reciprocal. 3 over 7. Multiply the numerator separately and the denominator separately. Check whether you can simplify. 7 times 1 and 7 times 3. That's all. So 3 times 3, 9. 4 times 1, 4. Convert to a mixed number. 4 times 2, 8 and 1 remaining out of 4. 2 and 1/4. This one, 8 times 4, 32 plus 1, 33. 7 plus 5, 12. Now convert to multiplication. Take its reciprocal. Multiply the numerator separately, denominator separately. You can simplify. You can divide by 3. Then 11 times 7, 77. 4 times 4, 16. How many 16s for 77? 16 times 5, 80. So that means 4. 4 and 4 times 6. 16 times 4 is 64. That means 77 minus 64. What's the remaining part? You get 13. So 13 out of 16. So 4 and 13 parts out of 16. Convert these improper fractions to mixed numbers. Now you know how to do that. Take long division. How many 7s for 12? 1. 5 remaining. 5 over 7. Divide by 4. 4 times 5, 20. 3 remaining. Divide by 11. 11 times 3, 33. How many remaining? 41 minus 33, 8 remaining. 33 divided by 5, 6 is 30, 3 remaining. 10 times 3, 30, 3 remaining. How many 11s for 47? 4. 11 times 4, 44 and 3 remaining. So now you know how to convert improper fractions to mixed numbers. Now the other way around, convert these mixed numbers to improper fractions. Multiply 3 times 2, 6, 6 plus 1, 7. 5 times 7, 35 plus 1, 36. 4 times 8, 32 plus 1, 33. 5 times 6, 30. 30 plus 3, 33. 9 times 2, 18 plus 1, 19. 7 times 4, 28 plus 3, 31. Now you know how to convert mixed numbers to improper fractions. Write down two equivalent fractions for given fraction. So you are asked to find 2. So we will multiply by 2 and 3. Multiply by 2, you get 6 and 14. Multiply this by 3, 9 and 21. Here we will multiply by 2, 10 and 18. Multiply this by 3, 15 and 27. Multiply this by 2, 14 and 22. Multiply this by 3, 21 and 33. This one by 2, 10 and 12. This one by 3, 15 and 18. Here multiply by 2, or this one, bigger numbers are there. You can divide. Divide by 2, you get 10 and 12. Divide by 4, you get 5 and 6. This one also you can divide by 2. 8 and 20. Divide by 4, you get 4 and 10. Simplify. That means here addition is given, so make sure that the denominators are equal. If those are equal, just add or subtract the numerators. If it's different, find the lowest common multiple and do add or subtraction. 8, 3 plus 1, 4. Simplify. 4 times 1 and 4 times 2, you can write half. This one same denominator, 5 plus 1, 6. Divide by 6, you get 1 and 2. This is 7 plus 3, 10. 10 divided by 10, you get 1. Now these are different. What's the lowest common multiple? Take the largest value and see whether it's divisible by 4. Not divisible. Take the multiple of that. 12 is divisible by 4 and 6, so 12 is the lowest common multiple. 3 times 4, 12. So 3 times 1, 3. 6 times 2, you get 12. So 1 times 2, 2. 3 plus 2 is 5. Here 9 and 3, what's the lowest common multiple? Highest one is 9. 9 is divisible by 3. So 9 is the lowest common multiple. 3 is already there here. Convert to equivalent fraction. 3 times 1, that's 3. 3 plus 3 is 6. 6 over 9. Simplify further. That means divide by 3. 2 over 3. This one, what's the lowest common multiple of 10 and 2? Take the largest one, 10. 10 is divisible by 2. So 10 is the lowest common multiple. This is 2 and this becomes 5. 5 times 1 is 5. 7 over 10. 2 plus 5, you get 7. Now you get mixed numbers. So what we do? We can do whole numbers separately and the fractions separately. 3 minus 1, you get 2. Then you can do separately 3/4 minus 2/4. Same denominator, 4 and 3 minus 2, you get 1. So 2 and, we can write like this, 2 and 1/4. This one, 5 minus 3, you get 2. 4 minus 1, 3, so 3 over 7. 1 plus 2, 3. 3 minus 1, 2. Now what's the lowest common multiple of 3, 6, 4? Largest number is 6. It's not divisible by 4. Take the multiple, that's 12. 12 is divisible by 3 and 4. That means 12 is the denominator, lowest common multiple. Find the equivalent fractions. 4 times 2, 8 here. How you get 12 from 6? Multiply by 2. So 2 times 1, 2. 4 times 3, 12. So that means 3 times 1, 3. So this is subtracting 3. Now 2 is there. 8 plus 2, 10. 10 minus 3, 7. So 7 over 12. This one. 5 plus 2, 7. 7 minus 2, 5. 5 whole number. 5 is the whole number. So what's the lowest common multiple of 8, 4, 6? Largest number is 8. 8 is not divisible by 6, so you can't take it. Multiple of 8 is 16. 16 is not divisible by 6, so that's also not possible. Multiple of 8, again you get 8 times 3, 24. Now it's divisible, so you can take 24. Now convert 8 to 24, multiply by 3. 3 times 7, 21. This one, 4 times 6 is 24. 6 times 1, 6. 6 times 4, 24. 4 times 1, 4. 5 parts are there. 6 minus 4, 2. 2 plus 21, 23 out of 24. 5, and we can write down 5 in the middle. 23 out of 24, like that. Simplify. So just fraction multiplication. We know that numerator separately, denominator separately. 6 and 35. Numerator separately and denominator separately, and see whether you can simplify. You can't simplify, so this is 3 over 16. This one, numerator separately and the denominator separately. So you get 10 over 33. What about this one? 3 fractions, but you do the same thing. Numerator separately, denominator separately, and see whether you can simplify. 3, 3, you get 1. And 2 times 1 and 2 times 2. So you get 1 over 2. This one also multiplication. Just multiply the numerator separately and the denominator separately. 11 and 11 get cancelled out. 3 times 1, 3 times 4. You get 1 in the numerator. 4 times 7, 28. Convert to improper fractions first and then multiply. 3 times 2, 6. 6 plus 1, 7. 6 plus 1, 7 again. And 3 over 7. Now multiply. Numerator separately, denominator separately. Simplify. You get here also 3. Simplify. 7 times 1, 7 over 2, or you can write as a mixed number. 2 times 3 is 6 and 1 remaining, so 3.5. This one, improper fractions first. 5 over 4, 7 over 3 and 3 over 7. Multiply the numerator separately and denominator separately. And simplify first. 7 and 7, 3 and 3. Now multiply. 5 times 1, 5. 4 times this 4. Convert to mixed number. 1 and 1/4. Simplify now, you get division. What we do? Take the multiplication with the reciprocal of the second fraction. So 3/4 are there. Multiply by 2 over 1. Multiply the numerator separately and simplify. 2 times 1, 2 times 2. 3 over 2. Right, as a mixed number you get 1 and another half. This one, 7 over 8 multiplied by the reciprocal of the second fraction. Multiply the numerator and the denominator separately. Try to simplify. This is 1 and this is 1. 9 times 1, 9. 8 times 1, 8. Convert to mixed number. 1 and 1 over 8. Now these two. Same procedure, convert to improper fractions. 11 over 2. 11 over 4. Now convert to its reciprocal. 4 over 11. Now numerator separately, denominator separately. You can simplify. 2 times 1, 2 times 2. So 1 times 2 is 2. This one, 7.5. So 15 over 2 is the improper fraction. Divide by 4 times 3, 12. 12 plus 3, 15 over 4. Now convert to multiplication. Take its reciprocal. When you multiply numerator separately and denominator separately, see whether you can simplify. 15 you can simplify. 2 times 1 with 2 times 2. So you get 2 as the answer. Simplify expressions of fractions containing off. So have you seen off sometimes in questions? So off in mathematics means multiplication. So here half of 50. If you have 50 rupees, when you divide into 2 parts, you get 25. So what is half of 50? That's 25. So what we do? Half of means multiplied 50. So this one you can write as this is 50 over 1. Multiply the numerator separately and the denominator separately. So 50 and 2 you can simplify and write 25. So what's half of 50 rupees? 25 rupees. So off means multiplication in mathematics. Find 3/5 of 80 meters. 3/5 of 80 meters. Now you can write this one as 1 and do multiply the numerator and the denominator separately. Simplify. 5 times 1, 5 times 1, 5. So 6. 16 times 3. 48. So units are meters, so 48 meters. So 3/5 of 80. So that means when you take 80-meter long wire or something, divide into 5 parts and you are taking 3 parts. That's 48 meters. So remember, of means multiplication. Rajitha owns 1/4 of the land. He sold half of it. What's the fraction of the sold part of the land to the total land? So this is 1/4. This is Rajitha's part. So you are dividing this into half. So I'm dividing this into half. So what's the part now? This part is half of 1/4. So as a whole, how many parts are there now? This is like if you divide this one into 8 equal parts, this is just one part. So what's the answer? So Rajitha owns 1/8 of the land. So how we do that? Using of. 1/4 of half. So 1/4 of half, or half, other way around doesn't matter. So you can write 1 times 1 over 4 times 2. 1/8. So in the first image, 1/4 is shaded, half of which is 1 part out of 8 parts. This one, half of 3/5. So look at the first diagram. 5 parts are there and 3 parts are shaded. 3 out of 5. Now you have to divide that into half. So when you divide that into half, how many parts are there? 3 parts out of 10. So what's the answer for half of 3/5? That means 3 out of 8. So how we do? Half times 3/5. Multiply the numerator separately, denominator separately. 3 times 1, 3. 2 times 5, 10. So 3/10. Half of 3/5 is 3/10. So take off as multiplication. Now do this one. 2/3 of 3/7. So 2/3 of means multiplication, 3/7. Now numerator separately multiply, denominator separately you need to multiply. Now can you simplify? Yes, 3 times 1, 3 times 1. So 2 times 1, 2, 1 times 7, you get 7. So 2/7. This one, mixed numbers are there. So you need to convert to improper fractions. 4 times 1, 4 plus 3, 7. This one, 6, 7/2. This is off there. What you do? Off means multiplication. Now simplify. Before that, you multiply separately the numerator and the denominator. You can't simplify further. 7 times 7, 49. 4 times 2, 8. Convert to a mixed number. 8 times 6, 48. 1 remaining. 1 out of 8. This one, do the same thing. Convert to improper fractions. 8/7 of 21/4. 8/7 multiplied by 21/4. Multiply the numerator separately and the denominator separately. Can you simplify? 4 times 1, 4 times 2. 7 times 1, 7 times 3. So 2 times 3, you get 6. This one, convert to improper fractions. 6/5 of 12 plus 3, 15/5. 15/4. Now off means multiplication. Multiply numerator separately, denominator separately when you get fraction multiplication. Now simplify. 5 times 1, 5 times 3. 2 times 2, 4, 2 times 3, 6. 3 times 3, 9. 9 over 2 is same as 4 and half. This one, 3 times 1, 3 plus 1, 4. 4 over 3 of 25 over 3. Multiply these two fractions. To do that, you take numerator separately and the denominator separately. You can't simplify, so 100 over 9. How many 9s for 100? That's 11. 11 times 9, 99. 1 remaining. So you can write 11 and 1 over 9. This one. Convert to improper fractions. 12 over 11 and 22 over 3. Use multiplication. Multiply the numerator separately and the denominator separately and try to simplify. 11 times 1 and 11 times 2. 3 times 1 and 3 times 4. 4 times 2, you get 8. This one, 9 times 1, 9 plus 1, 10. 10 over 9 as an improper fraction. 36 over 5 is this. Off means multiplication. So what you do? Multiply the numerator separately, denominator separately, and see whether you can simplify. 9 times 1, 9 times 4. 5 times 1, 5 times 2. 2 times 4, you get 8. This one, convert to improper fraction. 7 over 6 of 22 over 7. Then convert to multiplication. Multiply the numerator separately, denominator separately. 7, 7 get cancelled out. 2 times 3, 6. 2 times 11. 11 over 3. You can write as a mixed number. 3 times 3, 9 and 2 remaining. So 3 and 2/3. This one, find 4/5 of 200. Of means multiplication. So 4/5 of 200. Multiply the numerator separately and denominator separately. This is like 1. So 5 times 40 is 200. So 4 into 40, 160 rupees. There are 2,440 students in one school. 5/8 of them are male children. Find the number of male children. This is like 5/8 of 2,440. So how many male children are there? 5/8 of 2,440. So 5/8 into 2,440. So 5 times 2,440 divide by 8. Now you can divide by 8 here. 8 times 1, 8 times 3, 24. Nothing for 4 and 5 for 40. So 5 times 5, 25. 5 times 5, 25. And 5 times 3, 15. So 1525 male children are there. There are 48 passengers on the bus. 3/4 of it is male. Find the number of males. So this means 3/4 of 48. So of means multiplication. Multiply the numerator separately, denominator separately for fraction multiplication. So 4 times 1, 4 times 12. So 12 times 3, 36. 36 male passengers in that bus. Solve fractions with brackets. Now look at this one. Off is there as well as brackets are there. So when you get brackets, first simplify inside bracket and then consider the other numbers. So we'll take 3/31 off. We'll do this one separately. 3 plus 1, 4. Now you need to convert to the lowest common multiple. 2 and 3. Largest one is 3, but 3 is not divisible by 2. Take the next multiple, 6. 6 is divisible by 2 and 3. So the lowest common multiple is 6. Find the equivalent fractions. 3 here and 2 times 2, 4. So you get 3/31 off. Simplify this one. 4 and 7/6. 7/6 you can write 1 and 1/6. So we can write instead of this 1 and 1/6. 4 and 1 and 1/6. So what you get here? When you take the total, that's 5 and 1/6. 3/31 of 5 and 1/6. Now you can do multiplication. 3/31 multiplied by the improper fraction 31/6. When you multiply separately, 3 and 31 in the numerator and 31 and 6 in the denominator. 31 get cancelled out, 3 with 1 and 3 with 2. So half is the answer for this question. So when you get brackets, first simplify inside. This one, I can write 5 1/6. Now we'll do this one first. Convert to improper fractions. 5 times 2, 10. 13/5. 12 plus 1, 13/3. Now you need to convert to multiplication by taking the reciprocal. So I can do 13/5 multiplied by 3/13, taking the reciprocal of that. So 5 1/6. What happens here? Multiply numerator separately and denominator separately. 13 and you get 5 1/6 plus 3/5. Now the denominators are different, so you have to take the lowest common multiple. 6 and 5. 6 is the largest number, but it's not divisible by 5. 12, no. 18, again you can't divide by 5. 6 times 4, 24, you can't. 6 times 5, 30, you can divide. So 30 is the lowest common multiple. So 5 is there, convert to 30. This is 5 times 6, so 5 times 1, 5. 6 times 3, 18. So 5 and 23 out of 30. So you can write nicely here 5 in the middle, 23 out of 30 as the answer. Now we'll see the order of operation. We did addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. So what's the order? And also we did off. Have you heard about BODMAS? BODMAS is the order of operation. So B stands for brackets. O means actually order. But here we can take, as we are not considering powers, we can take this is as off. D is division and A multiplication, A addition and S subtraction. So when you get a question, you have to start from left hand side. Whatever comes first, you do the operation. If you get brackets first, you have to simplify the brackets. When you get a power or off, you have to do that. But when it comes to division and multiplication, you can do whatever comes first. If division comes first, you can do that. If multiplication comes first, you have to do the multiplication. So these two are equivalent. And also addition and subtraction both are similar. So whatever comes first from left hand side, you have to do that operation. So these two also equivalent. First, simplify inside brackets. Secondly, any powers or off term. Then the division and multiplication by solving the first mathematical operation from left to right. And finally, addition and subtraction. Now when you look at this one, what's the order? First brackets. So you have to do brackets first. 8 and 6, what's the lowest common multiple? Without doing separately, what do you think? 8 is the largest number. Multiple of that, 16 is not divisible by 6. 24, yes. So 24 is the lowest common multiple. Now do the equivalent fractions. 8 times 3, 3 times 3. 4 times 1, 4. So you get 1 over 13 of 9 plus 4, 13 over 24. Now what's the second step? You can convert to improper fractions. 13 into 1 and plus 1, 14 over 13. And then consider multiplication. Multiply the numerator separately and the denominator separately. 13 get cancelled out. 2 times 7 and 2 times 12. So you get 7 over 12. This one you have to do separately. Simplify this bracket, then this one separately, and then think about division. 3 minus 1, 2. And the common denominator is 4, lowest common multiple. Convert to 4. This is 2 minus 3. Now what happens? Can you subtract 2 minus 3? You can't. So what we do, we can take 1 from that. So don't do the subtraction. Here you can do separately, convert to improper fractions and then subtraction. Or we'll take 1 inside, then 1 remaining. When you take 1 inside, that means 4 parts we are taking. 4 out of 4. 4 plus 2 minus 3. So you get 1. 4 plus 2, 6. 6 minus 3, 3. So 1 and 3/4 for the first bracket. Now we'll do the next one. So this is division. This bracket 7 minus 3, again 4. You get 4 as the common denominator. So you get, convert to 4, 2 minus 3. You can't subtract 2 minus 3, you have to take 1 from that. So we'll keep 3 here and take 1 inside. When you are taking 1 inside means 4 out of 4. 4 plus 2 minus 3. So what you get? 3 parts are there. 4 plus 2, 6. 6 minus 3, 3. 3/4. Now, division. Before doing division, you have to convert to improper fractions. 7 over 4 divided by 15 over 4. Now convert to multiplication by taking the reciprocal. Upside down, 4 goes to the numerator, this one goes to the denominator. Multiply separately numerator and the denominator. 4 get cancelled out, you get 7 over 15. Now you get addition, division and subtraction. So without writing like this, I can put 2 brackets. 3, 7 over 8 plus 1, 3/4 divide by 2, 7 over 8 minus 1 and 1/4. So in this case, use brackets and the division sign. Now do separately this bracket separately and this one separately and do the division afterwards. Now we'll simplify inside. 3 plus 1, 4. 8 is the common denominator, that's 7 and 4 times 2, 8. So 2 times 3, 6. Divide by 2 minus 1, 1. And when you convert to 8, what you get? 7 minus 2. So 4, 7 plus 6, 13. 13 over 8. 7 minus 2, 5 over 8. Here 13 over 8 is also a improper fraction. 13 over 8 is an improper fraction. So convert to a mixed number. 1 and 5 over 8. Divide by 1 and 5 over 8 here. So when you do addition, 4 plus 1, 5. 5 and 5 over 8 divide by 1 and 5 over 8. Now convert to improper fractions. 45 over 8, 13 over 8. Now we need division. What you do? You take the reciprocal. So I can write down this one as 45 over 8 multiplied by the reciprocal of the other fraction. 8 get cancelled out and you are getting how many 13s for 45? 3. And that's 39. So 45 minus 39, you get 6 remaining out of 13. So 3 and 6 over 13. Now look at this question, it's slightly different. How many 2/3 are there in 3 and 1/3? So basically what it means. Now if I ask the same question with simpler numbers, how many 2's are there in 10? You do 10 divided by 2. How many 10's are there in 20? 20 divided by 10. So similarly, how many 2/3 are there in 3 1/3? 3 1/3 you divide by 2/3. So this is division. First convert to improper fractions. 10/3 and 2/3. So 10/3 multiplied by the reciprocal. Multiply the numerator separately and the denominator separately and simplify. 3 and 3, 2 and 5. So 5 is the answer. So that means 5 2/3 parts are there in 3 and 1/3. Now we'll look at problems related to fractions. So this is a worded problem and we'll see how we can solve that. The weight of 3 boxes is 6 1/3, 8 1/5 and 1 5/8. 1 5 6. Find the total weight of all the boxes. So just addition. Fraction addition there. So you add all these fractions. First add the whole numbers. 8 plus 1 9, 9 plus 6 15. 3 5 6. What's the lowest common multiple? Highest number is 6, but it's not divisible by 5. 12. You can't take. 18. You can't take. 24. Not divisible by 5. Multiple of 5, that means 30, it's divisible. So 30 is the lowest common multiple. Now find the equivalent fractions. You get 10 here, 6 and 25. So 15 is there. 25 plus 10, 35. 35 plus 6, 41. Now you can write this one as 1 and 11/30. You get 41 there. So 15 and 1, 16 and 11 out of 30. So the total weight is 16, 11/30 kilograms. Look at this one. Find the remainder of the length after cutting and removing 4 1/5 meters from the 6 1/4 meter long rope. So just the subtraction. So remaining part you can write the whole length is this 6 1/4, subtract 4 1/5. 6 minus 4, 2. 4 and 5, what's the lowest common multiple? That's 20. You can check and see where you get. Divide that number by 4 and 5 both. So 20 is the lowest common multiple. Now convert 5 here and 4. 5 minus 4, 1. So 2 and 1/20. So this is about a length. The length is 2 and 1/20 meters. Next question. There are 40 students in a class. 3/5 of them are female children. Find the number of female children. So that means they are asking 3/5 of 40. Of means multiplication. So 3 over 5 multiplied by 40. This is like 1 here, nothing there, means 1. So multiply the numerator separately and the denominator separately. 5 times 1, 5 times 8. 8 times 3, 24. So that means 24 female children are there in the class. This one, the mass of soap bar is 40 and 3/4 grams. Find the mass of 12 soap bars. 1 bar is this much. What about 12? So you need to multiply this by 12. So how you do that? First convert this to improper fractions. So 40 into 4, 160 plus 363. Multiply by 12. So write the numerator separately. Here multiplication and denominator. This is like 1. And simplify. 4 times 1, 4 times 3. So 3 times 3, 9. 3 times 6, 18. 3 times 1, 3 plus 1, 4. So you get 489 grams are there in 12 soap bars. Now we'll look at example 1. So this is fraction multiplication. And here, what's the difference in example number 2? You get a mixed number. Here, just improper fractions. We'll take this one. So what is the first step when you are multiplying fractions? Multiply the numerator separately and then the denominator separately. See whether you can simplify. You can't do that, then just multiply. 2 times 1, 2. 5 times 3, 15. This one convert to improper fractions. 3 times 1, 3 plus 1, 4 over 3 multiplied by 7 over 4. Same thing, multiply the numerator separately, denominator separately. Now we see you can simplify. 4 and 4 you can simplify. 7 times 1, 7. 3 times 1, 3. This is an improper fraction. Convert to a mixed number. 3 times 2, 6 and 1/3. So 2 and 1/3. Example number 3. Now division. So what's the method for division? You multiply with the reciprocal of the second fraction. 4 over 3 is there. Then what is the reciprocal of 2? 1. This is like 2 over 1. So 1 goes up and this is 2 in the denominator. So that's half. Now multiply the numerator separately and the denominator separately. Simplify. 2 times 1, 2 times 2. You get 2/3. Example number 4. Convert to improper fractions. 9 over 7 divide by 3 over 2. Now convert to multiplication. Take the reciprocal of the second fraction. That's 2 over 3. Multiply the numerator separately, denominator separately. Simplify first. 3 times 1, 3 times 3. So 3 times 2, 6 and 7 times 1, 7. Review exercise. Question number 1. For each of the fractions given below, write 2 equivalent fractions. So we'll take the first one. 2/3 multiplied by 2. Both the numerator and the denominator. 4 and 6. Multiplied by 3. 3 times 2, 6. 3 times 3, 9. So you need 2 equivalent fractions. Second one, 4 over 5. Multiply by 2, you get 8 over 10. Multiply by 3, 12 over 15. Third one, 4 over 8. So here you can divide also. No need to always multiply. So you can divide by 4. I can write half, or I can multiply it by 3. 3 times 4, 12. 3 times 8, 24. Fourth one, 16 over 24. I can divide by 2. 8 over 12. Or I can divide by 4. 4 over 6. Question number 2. Express each mixed number given below as an improper fraction. Here 2 times 1, 2. 2 plus 1, 3. 3 over 2. This one, 4 times 2, 8. 8 plus 3, 11. 3 times 5, 15. 15 plus 2, 17. 10 into 5, 50. 50 plus 7, 57. These are improper fractions. Express each improper fraction given below as a mixed number. So that's division. So see how many 3s for 7? That's 2, 1 remaining. So 1/3. How many 4s for 19? 4. That's 16. 3 remaining. 3/4. How many 4s for 43? 10. That's 40. 3 remaining. How many 7s for 36? 7 times 5. 35. 1 remaining. Find the value. This is addition of fractions. Same denominator, you can just add the numerators. 3 plus 2, 5. Here you have to convert to the lowest common multiple. 6 and 3, largest number is 6 and it's divisible by 3. So 6 is the lowest common multiple. Find the equivalent fraction. 3 times 2, 2 times 2, 4. 5 minus 4, you get 1. So that 1 over 6. This one, different denominators. Convert to the lowest common multiple. Largest one is 12. 12 is divisible by 3 and 4. So that's the lowest common multiple. 7, 3 times 4, 3 times 3, 9. 4 times 3, 12. 4 times 2, 8. 9 plus 7, 16. 16 minus 8, 8. 8 over 12. When you simplify, you get 4 times 2 and 4 times 3. 2/3. Addition of fractions. So all are mixed numbers. We can do separately. 2 plus 1, 3. Then the common denominator for 2 and 4 is 4. Find the equivalent fractions. 2 times 2 and here 1. So what's the answer? 2 plus 1 is 3. 3 and 3/4. This one, 3 minus 1, 2. Then lowest common multiple is 6. 5 is there and 2 times 2, 4. So 2 remaining. Here 2 whole number. 5 minus 4 is 1. So 2 and 1/6. This one, we can do whole numbers first. 1 plus 2, 3. 3 minus 1, that's 2. Now 2, 4, 3. What's the lowest common multiple? 4, you can't take. 8, not divisible by 3. 12. 12 is the lowest common multiple. Find the equivalent fractions. 6 and 4 times 3. So this becomes 3 minus. How you get 12 from 3? Multiply by 4. 4 times 2, 8. So 2 and 6 plus 3, 9. 9 minus 8, 1. 2 and 1 over 12. simplify. This is fraction multiplication. What you do, multiply the numerator separately and the denominator separately. Can you simplify? Yes, you can divide by 2 here. You get 2 there. 1 into 2, 2 over 7. This one, 3 fractions, but you do the same thing. Multiply the numerator separately and denominator separately. Simplify. 2 times 1, 2 times 4. 3 times 1 and 3 times 1. 5 times 1, 5 times 2. Now you get 1 in the numerator. 4 times 2, that's 8. Mixed numbers. Convert to improper fractions. 8 over 5. 5 over 12. Now multiply the numerator separately, denominator separately. 5 get cancelled out. 2 times 1, 2 times 4. The answer is 4. Again this one, improper fractions. 33 over 10. 7 over 3. 30 over 7. Now numerator separately, denominator separately. Simplify factors in the numerator and the denominator. 7, 7. 3 times 1, 3 times 10. Then 10 times 1, 10 times 1. Now what's the remaining part? 33. So the answer is 33. Write the reciprocal of each of the following fractions. What's reciprocal? Numerator goes to the denominator and denominator goes to the numerator. So upside down, this is 3 over 1. That's same as 3. 7 over 1, 7. 8 over 3. 5 becomes 1 over 5. This one, you have to first convert to improper fraction and then consider the reciprocal. 5 times 2, 10. So 13 over 5 is a fraction. Convert to reciprocal, that's 5 over 13. Simplify. Now this is fraction division. So what you do? Fraction division you can convert to multiplication by taking its reciprocal. So 6 over 7 multiplied by the reciprocal of 3, 1/3. Multiply the numerator separately, denominator separately. 3 times 1, 3 times 2. The answer is 2 sevens. This one, 8 multiplied by the reciprocal of this, 5 over 4. Multiply the numerator separately, denominator separately. 4 times 1, 4 times 2. You get 10. This one, 9 over 28 multiplied by the reciprocal of this, 7 over 3. 9 times 7, 28 times 3. Now simplify. 3 times 1, 3 times 3. 7 times 1, this is 4. So what's the answer? 3/4. You get mixed numbers. Convert to improper fractions. 26 over 5 divide by 6 over 7. Convert to multiplication by taking the reciprocal of the second fraction. 26 times 7, 5 times 6. Simplify. 2 times 3, 2 times 13. So multiply now. 7 times 3, 21 and 91 there. 5 times 3, 15. So this is an improper fraction. Convert to mixed number. 91 over 15. How many 15s for 91? That's 6. So you get 90. So 1 remaining. 6 and 1 over 15. This one convert to improper fraction. 3 over 2 divide by 4 times 2 8. 8 plus 1 9 over 4. Convert to multiplication by taking the reciprocal of the second one. Multiply numerator separately, denominator separately and simplify. 2 times 1, 2 times 2, 3 times 1 and 3 times 3. 2/3 you are getting. Example number 1. Find the value of half of 2/3. Of means multiplication. Half of 2/3 you can write as multiplication. Then what you do? Multiply the numerator separately and the denominator separately. 2 times 1 and 2 times 1. So you get 1/3. This one. 2/3 of 1 over 5. So 2/3 of, convert to improper fractions. 5 times 1, 5. 5 plus 4, 9 over 5. Now, of means multiplication. Multiply the numerator separately and the denominator separately. 3 times 1, 3 times 3. You get 6 over 5. Write as a mixed number. 1 and 1/5. Example number 3. How much is 3/5 of 500? 3/5 of 500 meters. Of means multiplication. Then multiply the numerator separately, denominator separately. 5 times 100, 100 times 3, 300 meters. Exercise 3.1. Simplify the following expressions. All in these of term is there, that means multiplication. 2/3 multiplied by 4/5. Multiply the numerator separately and the denominator separately. You can't simplify. Answer is 8 over 15. This one, 6 over 7 multiplied by 1/3. 6 times 1 and 7 times 3. You can simplify 3 times 1 and 3 times 2. So you get 2/7. This one, 2 over 5 multiplied by 5 over 8. 2 times 5 over 5 times 8. Simplify this. 5 times 1, 5. 2 times 1 and 2 times 4. So the answer is 1/4. 5 over 6 times 9 over 11. How we multiply? 5 over 6. So just multiply the numerator and the denominator separately. Can we simplify? 3 times 2, 3 times 3. So you get 15 over 22. So all of these of term is there, that means multiplication. Convert to improper fraction. Then multiply separately. Simplify. You get half. 1 and 1/3. Convert to improper fraction. 4 over 3. 2 and 5 over 8. 21 over 8. Simplify. First multiply separately. the numerator and the denominator and simplify. 3 times 1, 7. 4 times 1, 4 times 2, 7 over 2. Convert to mixed number, 3 and half. This one, 11 plus 3, 14 over 11 and 11 over 2. So 14 times 11, 11 times 2, 11 get cancelled out. You get 7 as the answer. 5 over 9 into 9 over 5. So multiply separately the numerator and the denominator. 9 and 9 get cancelled out. 5 and 5 get cancelled out. You get 1 as the answer. Find the value. How much is 3/4 of 64 rupees? 3/4 of 64, that means multiplication. Multiply the numerator and the denominator separately. 4 times 1, 4 times 1, 4, that's 6. 16 times 3, 48 rupees. Second part, how many grams is 2/5 of 400? 2 over 5 multiplied by 400. Multiply the numerator separately. You get this, 5 times 1 and 80. 80 times 2, 160 grams. How many hectares is 1/3 of 6 hectares? 1/3 of 6. 1/3 of means multiplication. 6 over 3, that's 2. So 2 hectares. Fourth one, 1/8 of 1 kilometer. What you do? 1 into 8 into 1. So you get 1 over 8 kilometer and you need to convert to meters. So how you convert to meters? Kilometers to meters. 1000 meters is 1 kilometer. So multiply by 1000. 4 times 2, 4 times 25. So 250. Divide by 2, you get 125 meters. Question number 3. A person who owns 3/5 of a land gives 1/3 of it to his daughter. What is the portion received by the daughter as a fraction of the whole land? So what's the part? Who owns 3/5 of a land. So if you take the land, 3/5 of a land gives 1/3 of it to his daughter. So this is of 3/5 of 1/3. That means 3 times 1 over 5 times 3. 3 get cancelled out. You get 1/5. So what's the fraction as a whole? Part. 1/5 of the land given to his daughter. Question number 4. Nima's monthly income is 40,000 rupees. He spends 1/8 of his on travelling. How much does he spend on travelling? So that means 1/8 of 40,000. Of means multiplication. Now multiply the numerator separately, denominator separately. 8 times 5. So this is 5,000. For 5,000 rupees. Example number 1. Simplify the expression and write the answer in the simplest form. Now you get brackets. According to order of operation, you have to do brackets first. So BODMAS means brackets, order of division, multiplication and addition or subtraction. So we'll do 4 over 10 of 1 over 6 plus 1 over 4. So what's the lowest common multiple of 6 and 4? 12. 2 here and then 3 there. So 4 over 10 of this. So 5 over 12. Of means multiplication. So you can multiply as 5 over 12. Multiply the numerator separately, denominator separately. 4 times 3, 5 times 2. So what's the answer? 1 over 6. Example number 2, you get 2 brackets. So simplify separately inside brackets and then consider of. Convert to improper fraction. 7 over 5. Divide by 7 over 3. Of. And this one, 2/3 and half. What's the lowest common multiple? 6. So multiply by 2, you get 4. 3 here, 3 times 1, 3. This one, division. Division means you take multiplication with its reciprocal. 3 goes to the numerator, 7 goes to the denominator. This is 1 over 6. 7 times 3 over 5 times 7 of 1/6. 7 get cancelled out. You get 3/5 of means multiplication 1/6. Multiply the numerator separately, denominator separately. 3 times 1, 3 times 2, you get 1 over 10. Exercise 3.2. Simplify and write the answer in the simplest form. When you refer from left, according to BODMAS, you have to do multiplication first. So we have to do this part first. Okay, so there's no brackets. Don't get confused with brackets. Okay, half plus. Do this one separately. 2 times 5, 3 times 6. 2 times 1 here, 2 times 3. So what you get? Half plus 5 over 9. Now do the addition. 9 and 2, what's the lowest common multiple? You get 18. 9 times 2, 18. So this is 9. 2 times 5, 10. 10 plus 9, 19 over 18. Convert to a mixed number. 1 and 1 over 18. This one, what you do? From left to right. Off is there, so you can do that one first. 1/4 of means multiplication. Convert to improper fraction. 10 over 3. Divide by 6 times 2, 12 plus 1, 13 over 6. You can do this one or you can write first and then simplify. So I can do now the other part. Division is multiplication with reciprocal, 6 over 13. Now this is like multiplication of fractions. 1 into 10 into 6. over 4 into 3 into 13. Simplify. 3 times 1, 3 times 2. 2 times 1, 2 times 2, 2 times 1 and 2 times 5. So what's the answer? 5 over 13. According to BODMAS, brackets first. 3/5. 3 and 2, what's the lowest common multiple? That's 6. 2 times 1, 2. 3 times 1, 3. 3 over 5 multiplied by 5 over 6. 3 into 5 over 5 into 6. 5 get cancelled out. 3 with 1, 3 with 2. 1 over 2 is the answer. This one, brackets first. We'll do this one. 10 over 3 divide by 13 over 6 as the improper fractions. 1/4 of 10 over 3 multiplied by the reciprocal of the second fraction. 1/4 of 10 over, multiply the numerator separately, denominator separately, and simplify. 3 times 1, 3 times 2. 1/4 of means multiplication. You get 20 over 30. Now multiply again. Numerator is 20 and 4 times 13. 4 times 1 and here 5. Answer is 5 over 13. Brackets first. Convert this to improper fraction and keep. 15 over 4. Divide by this part. Convert to improper fractions. 5 over 2. 13 over 4. Now what's the lowest common multiple of 2 and 4? That's 4. Convert. You get this. 15 over 4. 10 and 13 addition. 23 over 4. Now you can convert to multiplication by taking the reciprocal of the second fraction. 15 times 4 divide by 4 times 23. 4 get cancelled out. What's the answer? 15 over 23. Now you get 2 brackets. So do separately and then do addition. 5 over 3 multiplied by 3 over 5 plus 4 and 2, lowest common multiple is 4. So you get 3 plus 2 times 1, 2. Now do separately, numerator separately, denominator separately. This becomes 5 over 4. 3 get cancelled out, 5. You can cancel out and you get 1 there. 1 plus 5 over 4. 1 I can write 4 over 4. Same denominator. So you get 9 over 4. When you simplify, you get 2 and 1/4. This one. According to BODMAS, brackets. And then from left, either multiplication or division. So we'll do the brackets first. Convert this to improper fraction. 8 over 3. So this one, 5 over 4 minus 1 over 12. And then division, convert to improper fraction. 7 over 3. Now what you do? This part. 12 is the lowest common multiple. So you get 12 here and then 4 times 3. So 3 times 5, 15. 15 minus 1. Now 8 over 3. 15 minus 1 is 14 over 12. Divide by 7 over 3. Then what you do? You can convert this division as multiplication of the reciprocal. So 3 over 7. Now multiply the numerator separately and the denominator separately. Can we simplify? 3 and 3, 7 and 2. Then 4 times 2 and 4 times 3. So what's the final answer? 4 over 3, or write in a mixed number, 1 and 1/3. Now division of multiplication. So what is the first step? From left to right. You can first do off and then division and multiplication. So we can write 5 over 6 divide by, what is 7 over 18 off 2/3. That means 7 over 18 multiplied by 2/3 into 3/4. 5 over 6 division. I can write 7 times 2 over 18 times 3. 2 times 1 and 2 times 9. And here you get 3/4. So here 5 over 6 divide by 7 over 20. 7 into 3/4. Now what you do? Convert to multiplication. 5 over 6 multiplied by the reciprocal of this. 27 over 7 into 3/4. Now multiply the numerator separately and the denominator separately. 3 times 1, 3 times 2. What else we can do? We can't simplify. So what's the answer? 5 times 27. 135. Divide by, you get 8. 8 times 7, 56. So how many 56 are there for 135? 2. So 2 and what's remaining? 56 times 2? 112. So 135 minus 112, you get 23. So 23 over 56. Can we simplify? You can't simplify. So the answer is 2 and 23rd out of 56. Question number 2. A person puts aside 1/4 of his income for food and half of his business and saves the remaining amount. What fraction of his income does he save? So for food, 1/4. For business, that's half of the income. So what's the total for food and business? 1/4 plus half. When you are doing addition, you have to convert to the lowest common multiple. So 4 is the lowest common multiple. 1 plus 2, that's 3/4. So what's the remaining fraction? Remaining amount. So remaining amount is 1 minus 3/4, or you can write as 4 over 4 minus 3/4. So 1/4 he saved. Question number 3. Kumudini walked 1/8 of a journey, travelled 2/3 of it by train and travelled the remaining distance by bus. Express the distance she travelled by foot and by train as a fraction of the total distance. 1/8 of a journey. She walked. Two-thirds by train. What's the total distance? Total distance is 1/8 plus 2/3. What's the lowest common multiple of 8 and 3? That's 24. 3 times 8, so 3 times 1, and this is 8 times 3, 8 times 2, 16. So you get 19 out of 24. That's the total distance travelled. Then second part, it says express the distance she travelled by bus as a fraction of the total distance. So the remaining part by bus. So what's the remaining part? By bus is 1 minus 19 over 24. I can write 1 as 24 over 24. Same denominator, just subtract. You get 5 over 24. So the distance travelled by bus is 5 over 24. Question number 4. A father gave half of his land to his son and 1/3 to his daughter. The son donated 1/5 of his portion and the daughter 2/5 of her portion to a charitable foundation. The foundation decided to construct a building on half the land it received. On what fraction of the total land was the building constructed? We'll sketch a diagram. So if this is the land, a father gave half to his son. So this is son, that's half. This one daughter, 1/3. The son donated 1/5 of his portion. So 1/5 of that to the charity. 2/5 of her portion. Daughter, 2/5 of her portion to the charitable foundation. The foundation decided to construct a building on half the land it received. Now first we'll find out the land that the son gave. Son gave half of 1/5. So 1/5 of the part he got. So that's 1 times 1, 2 times 5. That's 1 over 10. What about daughter? Daughter is giving 2/5 of 1/3. 1 times 2 and 3 times 5. So you get 2 over 15. And the total from the son and daughter to the charity. So charity people got 1/10 of son's part and 2/15 of the daughter's part. What's the common denominator? Lowest common multiple is 10 and 15. You can convert to 30. 30 is the lowest common multiple. Get 3 here, and this is 2 times 2, 4. So 7 over 30. That's the land that Charity got. But what they do? They are building a house in the half of the land. So what fraction of the total land was the building constructed? So building constructed in half of 7 over 30. So what is half of 7 over 30? So 1 into 7 over 2 into 30, you get 7 over 60. So the answer is 7 over 60 as a fraction. Now, this is an extra part in the textbook. This is only for your knowledge and will not be checked in exams. Now, this is the diagram in page number 28. We know that the shaded fraction is, if a circle is considered as 1 unit. If this is 1 unit, and what about this one? Out of 8 parts, this is 3 parts shaded. So what's the shaded part? Shaded part is 1 and 3/8. As an improper fraction, you can write 11 over 8 as well. But if both these circles are considered as 1 unit, then the fraction is changing. If both consider as 1 unit, how many total parts are there? 8 here, this is 8. Altogether 16 parts are there. Out of 16 parts, this is 8 plus 3, 11 parts are colored. So you need to be careful. If you take one full circle as a whole, the fraction is this, and if you consider the whole picture as 1 unit, then you get the fraction as 11 over 16. We'll take another one. Look at this diagram. In the above diagram, if one square is considered as 1 unit, this is 1 unit. How many parts are shaded? 1, 2, and then what's the fraction here? 3/4 of the other part. So this is the part that is colored, shaded. What is the shaded fraction if all 3 squares together are considered? Is 1 unit. All the squares together. This is one whole part. Then how many parts are there? 1, 2, 3, 4. 12 parts are there. Out of 12 parts, how many parts shaded? Altogether 11 parts. So what's the shaded part? If you take the whole thing as 1 unit, 11 over 12. What is the shaded fraction if half a square is considered as 1 unit? Then this is slightly different. Half a square is 1 unit. So you get 1 part, 2 parts, 3 parts, 4, 5, and then half from the other part. So 5 parts and half of it. 5 and a half. So What's the fraction? 5 and a half. Or you can write as 11/2 as an improper fraction. When you consider fractions, whole part is important. So if this is whole part, the number of parts are different compared to when you take two parts as one unit. So we covered all theory in this lesson. So basically we talked about fractions. Fraction addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, as well as when you are simplifying expressions, BODMAS is important, and we learnt another one about reciprocal. When you are dividing means multiplying by the reciprocal, and here I told you of or order. But in this lesson, we are not considering powers. So, of you have to do after brackets. Of means multiplication of fractions. Practice all these and thorough with fraction, multiplication, division, subtraction and addition.